Hi everybody, good afternoon. So for those who don't know me yet, let me introduce myself. I am Lucille Bulang from Tagbilaran City, taking up Masters of Business Administration. So today we will tackle about the nature of personal management. So let's begin with what is personal management. Personal management is defined as obtaining, using, and maintaining a satisfied workforce. It is the planning, organizing, compensation, integration, and maintenance of people for the purpose of contributing to organizational, individual, and societal goals. It is the part which is primarily concerned with human resource of organization. Elements of personal management. So we have three. These are the organization, job, and the people. So for the organization, it is said to be the framework of many activities taking place in view of goals available and concern. An organization can be called a physical framework of various interrelated activities. So the second element is job. Jobs tells us the activities to be performed in the organization. It is said that the goals of an enterprise can be achieved only through the functional department in it. So the last elements in personal management is people. In the organizational structure where the main aim is to achieve the goals, the presence of manpower is always important. So, personal manager. Personal manager is the head of the personnel department. He performs both managerial and operative functions of management. So, we have here the roles of a personal manager. First, he provides assistance to top management. The top management are the people who decide and frame the primary policies of the concern. All kinds of policies related to personnel or workforce can be framed out effectively by the personnel manager. First is that he advises the line manager as a staff specialist. Personnel manager acts like a staff advisor and assists the line managers in dealing with various personnel matters. Third is he acts as a counselor. Personnel manager attends problems and grievances of employees and guides them. He tries to solve them in best of his capacity. Fourth is he acts as a mediator. He is a linking pen between the management and workers. They are good listeners to employees' problems and assess employee during stressful situations. And lastly, he acts as a spokesman. Since he is a direct contact with the employees, he is required to act as a representative of the organization in committees appointed by the government. He represents company in training programs. Personal management functions. So we have here the manpower planning or the human resource planning, recruitment, employer selection, training and development. So in manpower planning, it consists of putting the right number of people, the right kind of people at the right place, at the right time, doing the right things for which they are suited for the achievement of goals of the organization. Recruitment. So we have two sources of recruitment. These are the internal recruitment and the external recruitment. So for internal recruitment, It is a recruitment which takes place within the concern of the organization, or within means inside the organization. So these are the sources. Transfers. Transfers, it means that assigning employees to transfer to another company, which is connected to the previous company or subsidiary company, which is a daughter company, owned and controlled by the parent company. Example for this is the Altaros group of company. Is the parent company of ICM, Marcella, Colonnade, and Altaras. They can reassign and transfer their employee to any of these company. So second is promotion. An employee inside the company promoted to a higher position in the company. Like for example, a rank and file employee promoted to a higher position like a supervisory position. The third one is the reemployment of ex-employees. Ex-workers being hired on the previous company that they once working. So another example is that an employee resigned from his job to go to work in overseas. But when she returns home, the previous company that she's working before hired her again for doing a history of good performance at work. So external recruitment. External recruitment means outside the organization. So these are the sources of external recruitment. First is that advertisement. Advertisement through newspaper, classified ads, television, radio, and just job posting outside the company. Second is the agencies. Agencies, employers get their employee from the agency. In some cases, agency will take over the recruitment process and even the training process. Majority of the company in Cebu, like Mactan Economic Zone or the MIPSA, now getting their employee through agency. It saved them money in doing the recruitment process and even in the time of their termination, because company is not responsible of the separation pay. This kind of sources is like exploitation of the employees. So the third one is the educational institutions. Company go to any schools to attract graduating students to apply job vacancies. Mostly of the company that's using these sources, they don't require an experience, but experience is just a plus. Getting OJT also from university is one of the good example. So the fourth one is the recommendations. This is what we call bakiray in our own language, or backer. Our government in our country here in the Philippines are doing this all the time. Meaning, if you don't have backer, then that means you cannot get a job in our government. It's more like corruption. So labor contractors. Instead of hiring employee, they hired labor contractor to the project. And when the project is done, that means end of contract. And then they wait for another bidding for labor contractors. The employee selection. The process of putting the right man in the right job. It is a process of matching the organizational requirements with the skills and qualifications of people. Effective selection can be done only when there is an effective matching by selecting best candidate for the required job. the organization will get quality performance of employees. So, let's move on to the next topic, employee selection process. So, we have here the preliminary interview. So, in preliminary interview, it is used to eliminate those candidates who do not meet the minimum eligibility criteria laid down by the organization. So the second is the written test. Various written tests conducted during selection where are we? Okay. So here, written tests. Various written tests conducted during selection procedure are aptitude tests, intelligence tests, reasoning tests, personality tests. These tests are used to objectively assess the potential of a candidate. So the third one is the employment interviews. So before you get a job, it's a long process. So you need to go through all this before you get a job. So the third one is employment interviews. It is a one-to-one interaction between the interviewer. It is a one-to-one interaction between the interviewer and the potential candidate. It is used to find whether the candidate is best suited for the required job or not. So the fourth one is the medical examination. Medical tests are conducted to ensure physical fitness of the potential employee. It will decrease chances of employee absenteeism. So lastly, after you get this appointment letter, then that means you are hired, or you can start from your job. It is a reference check is made about the candidate selected, and then finally he is appointed by giving a formal appointment letter. So training and development. Training is the process of enhancing the skills, capabilities, and knowledge of employees for doing a particular job. So, another information, training process molds the thinking of employees and leads to quality performance of employees. It is continuous and never-ending in nature. So, employee relations. Employee relations generally deal with avoiding and resolving issues concerning to individuals which might arise out of our influence in the work scenario. Healthy employee relations lead to more efficient, motivated, and productive employees, which further lead to increase in sales level. So how to improve employee relations? First is that meet the expectation of fair and just treatment. Meet the expectation of fair and just treatment. Employee has expectation of fair and just treatment by the management. Just Management must treat all employees as individuals and must treat them in a fair manner. Employee favoritism should be avoided in an organization. Second, give your employee a challenging job. Do not make employee job monotonous. Keep it interesting. Make it more challenging. This can be done by assigning employees greater responsibilities or indulging them in training programs, or more likely a job rotation. Third is that maintain a continuous interaction with the employees. Keep them updated about company's policies, procedures, and decisions. Fourth is employee must be rewarded and appreciated for a job well done. This will boost them and they will work hard together as a team. Encourage employee feedback. This feedback will make the employers aware of the concerns and they will work hard together as a team. This feedback also will make employers know the views and the feelings of their employee. Give the employees a competitive salary. Of course, they should be fairly paid for their talents, skills, and competencies. And lastly, be friendly but not over friendly with the employees. Build a good rapport with the employee. The employee should feel comfortable with the manager or supervisor rather than feeling scared. Supervising working conditions to maintain and effectively utilize personnel. The working conditions refers to the working environment and to the non-pay aspects of an employee terms and conditions of employment. It covers such matters as the organization of work and work activities, training, skills and employability, health, safety, and well-being. Maintaining personal records or personal research. Personal records are records pertaining to employees to an organization. These records are accumulated, factual, and comprehensive information related to concern, records, and detained. Such records are helpful to manager in various decision-making areas. So we have here that the types of personal record. First is the record of employment. It contains applicants' past records, sources, employee progress, medical reports. Wages and salaries record contains of payroll records, methods of wages and salaries, leave records, turnover records, and other benefit records. Third is the training and development contains appraisal report. It also contains transfer cases, training schedule, and training methods. Fourth is the health and safety record. Include it includes sickness reports, medical reports, safety provisions, and medical history or insurance reports. And lastly, the service records. Service records are the essential records containing biodata, resume or curriculum vitae, residential and family information, academic qualifications, marital status, past address, and employment records of an employee. Now, this is the last topic of, of the personal management. The purpose of personal records. First is that it helps supply crucial information to managers regarding the employees. Second, to keep an update record of leaves like lockouts, transfers, turnovers of the employees. Third, it helps the manager in framing various training programs on the basis of present scenario. Fourth, it helps the government organization to gather data in respect to rate of turnover, absenteeism, and other personal matters. Fifth, it helps the managers to make a salary revisions, allowances, and other benefits related to salaries. And lastly, it also helps the researchers to carry in-depth study with respect to industrial relations and goodwill of the firm in the market. The end. Thank you, and I hope you learned something from my topic. God bless. Bye-bye.